Game 6 on our network Thursday.
Big time.
I'm guaranteeing a Raptors victory. I'm guaranteeing a Raptors victory.
The Toronto Raptors are NBA champions. Winning the Larry O.B. trophy.
The Larry O.B.
That's what we're going to call it from now on, because Kawhi Leonard said that. Nick Nurse's first year coaching the team wins.
And to come into a team, I mean, Drake, we thought Drake might be at Oracle. He decided to stay in Jurassic Park. It turned out to be a pretty good decision.
Drake had championship hats before the players.
John Tory earned a significant amount of new votes over the course of this postseason. An incredible watch parties, Dan, across the country.
That one's in Montreal.
This is Montreal, obviously Jurassic Park. Mississauga might have been the biggest one of all. And to see Kyle Lowry hoist the Larry O.B., man, it's an incredible, incredible thing.
As we start our first ever Raptors championship post-game show.
This is exciting.
A freshly shorn Jay Onright, I'm Dan O'Toole.
And Dan grew out the long mutton chops just for this occasion.
That's right. I thought I'd keep half a beard for the Raptors playoff run.
Man, it's just an incredible night, and it wasn't an easy game for them to win. I mean, the third quarter was very, very tense.
Yeah.
And Kawhi didn't even have his best game. But, man, Freddie VanVleet, senior.
5 guys in double digits for the Toronto Raptors. As you said, Kawhi Leonard, he had 22. Not his best game, but 26 points from Pascal Siakam along with 10 boards. Huge. But Freddie VanVleet, as you said.
Interesting ending to this game, too.
Yeah, it took a while. There was no dramatic Kawhi shot to win it all.
No.
It took some time to figure it out at the end, but in the end, the Raptors do win their first ever NBA championship.
All right, we're going to be with you for the next couple of hours, breaking down the game, talking about the celebrations, going to Jurassic Park. But first, we got to go back to the Oracle in Oakland. The last ever game at Oakland at the Oracle, and the Toronto Raptors win it to win the 2019 NBA title. And James Duthie is standing by with Chris Bosh.
All right, thank you, guys. First World Championship, and glad to have Wolverine hosting the show at home.
I was thinking more like John Adams or something like that.
It's a 2-time world champion who knows what this feeling is like. And from your years with the Raptors in Canada, you know what this means to this country. They've waited so long for this. All the frustrations, the jokes about Barney in the early years, Vince making the shot, finally getting respectability, but then missing the shot. Chris Childs forgetting the score over and over, and now a world championship. What does that mean to every one of these fans, every one of those guys in the locker room?
I could only imagine. In Toronto, Canada, please give yourself a round of applause. You deserve it. You've worked so hard. You put so much time into it. This is your moment, and now no one else can take it away from you. And that's a wonderful thing about being an NBA champion. It lives on forever. And now, north of the border, they have a title. It's unbelievable. I mean, I still can't believe it.
I know you see the images on television, but just around us right now, the entire building, head count maybe 2,000-3,000 Raptor fans, just going nuts.
Yeah,
since essentially the last 30 seconds of the game. And again, all across Canada now, celebrations that have been, well, 24 years for the Raptors. But think of this, Canada's never seen this. The biggest comparable is the Blue Jays in 92 and 93. But remember, the Expos were around then. Half the country loved the Expos. So this is the first time that one team has won a professional sports championship of the Major Four in Canada. And it's a somewhat surreal scene right here.
Yeah, it's madness over. I wish you guys could be here and hear these guys. It's like a game going on right now. It's like the Raps are on a 10-0 run. It's amazing.
And the amazing thing was, it was the complete team effort. It was such a fitting win for the Raptors because perhaps you expected Kawhi Leonard to go off and get 40. But instead, Kawhi didn't have a Kawhi-type game. He was fine, but Leonard ends up with 22. Siakam, 26. Lowry, remarkable first half and 26.
Incredible.
Fred VanVleet in the fourth quarter,
Incredible.
22. And Serge Ibaka, 15. Van Fleet was ridiculous down the stretch.
I mean, you got to give credit to Van Vliet. He's always been that spark off the bench, especially offensively. And his timely shots, I mean, you could tell he was not afraid of the moment. That go-ahead bucket right there, I think that kind of put a lot of emphasis. You might as well put an exclamation point on that shot that he hit right there. I mean, he's been incredible the whole time. And, you know, you have to give credit where credit is due. Whole team performance, just like they've been doing all year. Credit to the world champs.
Van Vliet was 5 for 11 from three-point land, but those 3 crucial in the last few minutes.
We were just saying he couldn't hit, everybody was saying he couldn't hit a 3, right?
At the podium? Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing anything, but I understand Kyle Lowry is at the podium right now. Oh, Kyle Lowry. Let's talk about that first half. If he did not get in foul trouble, this could have been a 40-point night, because that was maybe the best half of basketball he's ever played, considering the circumstances.
No, absolutely. You could kind of tell he came out with that aggressive mindset. He did what he had to do. I was saying before the game, he was going to have to be that guy to have that veteran leadership and come out there like he really wants it. He did that today. I mean, you know, he had some tic-tac fouls early and often, but he didn't let that deter him from doing what he had to do.
Pascal Siakam in Game 5 back in Toronto had a rough night, particularly from three-point land and wide open threes. He comes out tonight, hits the first 2, and sets the tone for what would be a remarkable effort.
Yeah, I mean, he played well today. I mean, I like the fact that his first 3 was a corner 3. I've always talked about those corner 3s. I love that shot. I don't like him being above the free throw line, taking those shots. When he attacked the paint. He was relentless. He didn't allow them to sag off and just relax. But then he hit some timely shots. That is a good shot. I love that shot. Those are the shots that really get you going and build confidence. And then after that, it was points in the paint and layups.
We also learned tonight, if we didn't know already, just how hard it is to win a championship. When Klay Thompson went down, and so much credit to the Warriors for the way they hung around without Thompson and Kevin Durant, but it was such a struggle. And I could hear the viewers across Canada going, "Oh no, not again," in that last minute or so. And instead, these guys refused to say, "Oh no, not again."
They look prepared.
What a scene that is.
I mean, they look prepared.
Hey, we got emotion out of Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, hey, for the first time, all you got to do is win a championship.
No, first time since he hit that buzzer beater against Philadelphia. Look at that remarkable scene in downtown Toronto. What does it feel like to win a title? Because
it's a release. You know, you play 82 games plus preseason and playoffs. You've been dreaming for months, maybe even years.
Your lifetime.
Maybe even a lifetime. And you relentlessly work and hope and believe and come back. You fall down and you get up again, regardless of what people say. And then when you finally cross that finish line and you can raise that trophy above your head, that's the sweetest feeling. And then you go to bed.
I've had players from other sports tell me that there's relief before the joy.
Yes.
Because of so much you've been through. Is that fair?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's been through a lot. And, you know, it's no telling what these guys are dealing with off the court, even on the court. Knickknacks, injuries. You know, we fight through all of those things in hopes, you know, to win an NBA championship. And I just want to say one thing. I want to credit the Golden State Warriors. The last 5 years have been a hell of a run for them. 3 championships, 5 years. You hate to see guys go down and get hurt. You always want both teams to be healthy, but you got to credit the Raptors. It was an endurance run. They were deep. They had the team, and they were able to get it done.
Let's go into the locker room. Kate Burness is with Kyle Lowry.
Growing up in Philadelphia, your time at Villanova, through the NBA, a 5-time All-Star. What does it mean now to be an NBA champion?
It means a lot. It means the world. It's what I worked for my whole life, is to get to this position, this spot, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm just going to enjoy the moment.
What does it mean to have your family here? Your boys are of an age where they will remember this one. What does this mean to you on a whole?
It means the world. It means the world. There's no words that can explain what it means to me.
And finally, for all those millions of Canadians that are currently watching, what do you want to say to them?
We brought it home, baby. Oh, Canada.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, no kidding. Man, Kate should have brought goggles. I think.
I don't know if anyone's going to estimate the size of that crowd, but
that is unbelievable. Young and Dundas,
yeah.
and it goes all the way up Yonge Street.
So
and now we sent Matthew Shinetti. Matthew Shinetti's out there somewhere. I'm worried we're never going to find him.
If you've ever been to Toronto, it's easy to know where that is. It's right by the Eaton Centre. Everyone's been to the Eaton Centre.
There it is. There's Young and Dundas right there. And yeah, everyone's having a pretty good time, I'd say.
It's very civil. And let's hope that, again, it's going to come back with, hey, no arrests, nothing happened.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. But what, man, that is just incredible. And James pointed it out. It's the first time I've seen some real emotion from Kawhi Leonard. And as Chris Bosh pointed out, all you needed to do is win an NBA title. Rod.
Let's go to Rod.
Rod, Sam.
And we are back live, by the way. we are live. We haven't heard anything because we are not set up to hear you guys because it's also very loud here. This is crazy. Raptor fans everywhere. There they go.
I think some of the Golden State Warriors fans don't realize they lost. They don't know what to do with themselves.
They're not used to that, by the way. So welcome back to our coverage of the NBA Finals, live from here in Oakland. Rod Black along with Sam Mitchell, former coach of the year of the Toronto Raptors. That was the first banner up in the Raptors.
Got to start from somewhere, right, Sammy?
My partner, Leo Routens, and I couldn't imagine what it's like north of the border right now in Toronto, in Canada, because right now here in Oakland, it's crazy. It's on.
Ron, Leo, it is, man. The thing that's so gratifying for me, having coached in Toronto, having lived there, understanding the organization, how great it is, and the growth from where it started to where it is today, topping it off with a championship, Leo. Those fans, the country of Canada deserve it, the people of Toronto deserve it, and you guys who've been with this organization from day one, you guys deserve it.
We old.
It's a long way from the first game in the Skydome. That's right.
It's a long way.
But, you know, you sit and you see the crowds all over Toronto, all over Canada, and the following that this team has had all season long. Everywhere you go, Raptor fans come, and you hear them now. You're in Oakland, California, and you feel like you're back in Toronto. It's amazing.
You know, you think about all the generations that have come from the Raptors from opening night at Skydome with Damon Stoudemire winning Rookie of the Year, playing those years in Skydome, then the Vince Carter years. And by the way, one of the biggest moments early in the career happened right here in this building, that All-Star game, the slam dunk contest.
It started it.
Vince Carter put the Toronto Raptors on the map, and now guess what? The Toronto Raptors own the map.
NBA champions 2019. I mean, it's just an amazing feat, man. And again, when I think about being in Toronto, the 5 years I was there, Masai Ujiri, assistant general manager, and I said it earlier, you knew, Leo, that if once he got his chance, he was going to build something special.
And he was all in this summer. All in.
And July 18th, 2018. Big day. They got Kawhi Leonard. You can see the craziness going on in the locker room. We'll be here, I think, all night and all morning. We're not going anywhere. We'll stay with you as we send it back to Sports Center on the night that the Toronto Raptors capture the NBA championship.
And now we join Nick Nurse at the podium. Thanks, Rod.
It was a heck of a 12 months, and I don't know. I just try to take things as they come. You know, you didn't look too far ahead. Obviously, when we made some additions to the team. You know, we thought we could be good, but we had no idea what the health status was and all those things. And again, you just got to go take the guys you got and go play and manage it the best you can. And then look at the opponents and try to figure out a way to beat them. And it was a great group, though. They really played together. I thought they really fought hard. They were tough-minded. They didn't seem like this was wearing on them at all. 2 months of playoff basketball, they never seemed tired to me mentally. They kept wanting the film sessions. They kept wanting to walk through things. They kept wanting to keep learning and improving, and I think that was a big key because we had to do that in the playoff run because we really hadn't had all that much time together.
Tim, last row in the back.
Nick, Tim Reynolds with the AP. Congratulations, of course. I know you are your least favorite topic, so I'm probably going to regret asking this question, but what do you think your story says as far as a guy who played mid-major, a guy who had to go to Britain, a guy that had to win a couple titles in the G League before you got that phone call to come talk about offense and the story you were telling earlier, yesterday or today or something? They all blend in now. What do you think your story is going to mean to the coach who doesn't think he's ever going to get the shot?
Well, I would hope it inspires some people that are in those situations to keep working. I always say that all those jobs meant the world to me at the time, right? Winning with Birmingham in '96, or winning with Rio Grande Valley, whatever year that was, and those games and jobs meant the world to me, and I loved all those jobs. And I think you can't do very good work if you don't love what you're doing. And I don't know, and I never really got discouraged. I didn't really care at the level I was coaching at. I was just trying to learn and get better. That's it.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, shit.
First question towards the back.
Kawhi, Paul Antunes, ESPN Brazil. Congratulations. I'm just wondering, when you first got traded to Toronto, what went through your mind? Was it one of your preferred destinations? And how did your feelings evolve or change during this run, and how do you feel now?
I mean, we all know where my destinations were. But obviously, like I said, when I was there on my opening day meeting, that, I was focused on the now. And, I wanted to make history here. And that's all I did. I just, I'm still playing basketball no matter what jersey I have on. And the guys here been, making runs in the playoffs before I came. So I know they're a talented team. And, I just came in with the right mindset. Let's go out and win ball games. I text Kyle probably a day later or the day that I got traded and told him, let's go out and do something special. I know your best friend left. I know you're mad, but, let's make this thing work out. And we're here today.
Mark here in the third row.
Kawhi, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Wondering what went through your mind when Steph Curry had that look, and whether you thought that the game could be in their hands at that moment, and also your thoughts on when Klay Thompson went down with that injury.
Well, first, I'll start with Klay. I hope he's okay. I never want to see, a good friend of mine go out like that. I hope he's able to, recover from it, or, nothing's serious. And I just, when he went down, I just really thought about him. I didn't care about the game that much. And, once he left, we got to flip our mindset back to, trying to beat the Warriors. So that's what I did. And with the shot with Steph, it didn't look like it was a good shot. I mean, he hits those shots, but I wasn't too worried about it at that moment. Obviously, he can make that. He made it millions of times, but I just was focused on the rebound. I've been in situations like that in the finals that I lost up 2 or 3 points, and we lost that game because of rebounds. I forgot who shot the ball. I mean, you guys know the story. It was the last 2 possessions for Miami. They got 2 chances to shoot threes. Well, 4 chances at the basket out of 2 possessions. And that was my focus. I was just trying to get the rebound. And once he missed the ball, I tried to keep tipping it so some more time could run out. I didn't want to grab it right away so they could foul me. And Draymond ended up with it with 0.9 seconds and called a timeout and kept moving from there.
Reed in the back.
Kawhi, Reed Forgrave with CBS Sports, straight ahead. You've been through this roller coaster of a couple years, and now you're sitting with the finals trophy, the MVP trophy next to you again. And I'm curious how these couple years have changed you as a man and changed the way you look at faith and kind of your priorities in life.
Well, just the year last year, You know, a lot of people were doubting me. You know, thought I was either faking an injury or didn't want to play for a team. And that was disappointing to me that was out in the media, because I love the game of basketball. Like I always say, if we're not playing this game, if we're hurt, I mean, you're down. So me just, you know, going through that, and, you know, I just knew that I have to make myself happy and no one else. And I have to trust myself. And it doesn't matter what anybody has to say about me. I know who I am as a person. I know how I feel. And always just trust yourself. And that was my goal and my focus. And, you know, that's one of the things that, you know, I take on the floor. I don't care about what media has to say about me, or if they want me to score or whatever, 30 points, because I did the game before. I'm going to come out and play the right way. I'm not trying to make headlines. And, you know, that's just things that, you know, I pretty much learned just throughout this journey of being in the NBA. So, I mean, that's how I just keep growing up as a man, and that's why I say I just think about my past life and try to learn from situations and be wise and learn from others.
Last question, standing in the back.
Martenzie Johnson, the undefeated. You're obviously known as someone known for their defense. How special was it to receive the MVP award from Bill Russell?
It was very special. Obviously, I didn't come out in this series trying to win it. You know, it was a whole group collectively. Tonight, Fred played amazing in that fourth. Kyle played amazing tonight throughout the whole game. Pascal played big. And, you know, I just kept striving and, you know, pushing. And, you know, I ended up with the trophy, but everybody deserves it.
Thank you, Kawhi.
But he's an NBA champion. Amazing performance. How about Vince Carter? So proud and way to get it done. #champs. And then the PM. I don't think he wrote this tweet. I think someone wrote this tweet for him, then sent it out under his name. That's just my personal opinion.
Let's spend a couple of minutes on Kawhi Leonard, because I think we ran through all the other heroes immediately after the game. And though he didn't have the greatest fourth quarter until those free throws at the end, which were crucial, didn't have a bucket. But throughout these playoffs, the Kawhi Leonard's, I mean, this entire year is a movie somewhere to be made. To come here for a year, the belief that he would never stay, and then to be a hero like that, taking it through from the game-winning shot against Philly. Let's just sit back and enjoy some of the best of Kawhi in these playoffs.
I mean, I was just going to jump on. I have to say, man, it's one of the greatest playoff runs of all time. I mean, he did whatever he had to do. And, yeah, he didn't score much in the fourth quarter today, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't matter. And nobody's going to talk about him not scoring or his lapses. They're going to remember the great moments and the magical run that he was able to take this team on.
Think about this. If this series would have went to a Game 7, Kawhi Leonard would now have a chance, and probably would have done it, would have eclipsed Michael Jordan in a season for playoff scoring. Now think about that. We're talking about Michael Jordan and what Kawhi Leonard had an opportunity to do. Thank God the Raptors did it in 6, but when you look at the superstar set the tone. When I coached Chris Bosh, he set the tone. You put all the weight of the world on the star players because they make the most money, they get all the praise, they get all the blame, but they get the glory too when they win. And it's deserving, because people don't understand how much pressure an organization or a city puts on a superstar. They put the weight of the world on that guy to get it done. And when they lose, he gets the weight of the world to blame too.
Let's bring in Fred VanVleet.
Congratulations, man. Wichita State.
No Raptor was more clutch in that fourth quarter, and he's wearing the war wounds from that fall the other night. Has it soaked in? I know it's only been about a half an hour, but
yeah. Can I drink your shirt?
Yeah, you can. I've had enough already. I don't know how I'm walking, but you know, just it's been unbelievable to be able to close it out, and the long year that we had to work up to this point is just it's an unbelievable feeling to cap it off with a win.
It takes a special player to come through in the clutch when everything's on the line, and not everybody has that. Some people melt in that situation. You did the exact opposite tonight.
Yeah, it's not easy. You know, it's I've had some ugly nights where it doesn't go in. I remember my rookie year shooting in the fourth quarter. I shot one off the side of the backboard, but you know, just staying with it, sticking with it, believing in myself, trusting the work that I put in, and just having big nuts to go out there and take and make them.
Fred, I watched you in that Milwaukee series struggle with your three-point shooter, but your defense was there. What changed when it got to the NBA Finals? Because all of a sudden, that stroke came back, and I think in the game 6 against Milwaukee, you hit a big three at the end, and we all felt like that shot could get you going for the finals.
Yeah, I think just it was a struggle. We changed our rotations a little bit. I got caught up in the mix. My minutes went down. That's hard to adjust as a player. The ball stopped moving, and you know, as a role player, when that ball stopped moving, you get about 2 shots a game.
Yeah, it's tough.
You go 0 for 2, 6, 7 times.
Here come the hook.
Now you 1 for 17, and your minutes go down. So Kyle fouled out one of the Milwaukee games. I played about 33, 35 minutes. Nurse got some confidence in me, and just we was rolling ever since then. And having to guard Steph gets you just the juices going. Having to guard Steph, and he's gonna shoot it every time. So you're trying to come back down on the other end and get some buckets yourself, and just been an amazing ride for us.
Take us through the final few seconds where it got dicey. Let's face it.
Yeah, it was ugly, man. It's not a book on how you close out a game and close out a series, but like, we've been resilient all year, and we were able to continue to stay resilient tonight. And Steph got a clean look. You know, everybody was holding their breath, but to be able to close it out there and finish the game with the 2 free throws from Kawhi, and celebrate and go to the locker room and enjoy it.
From Oakland, where the Toronto Raptors shut down a building and shut down a dynasty. Good night, Oakland. There will be no encore. The Raptors are the NBA champs.
Thank you very much, James. Couple of things.
Yeah.
That truck.
It's gambled.
That truck is a write-off now. I don't know who owns that truck, but it's a write-off.
Yeah, maybe could have picked a better route. There it is.
That truck is, wow. The roof right at Yonge and Dundas. The driver thought, you know what, maybe I'll zip through Dundas, go through the city, check out Chinatown, go to the Eaton Center. What?
That driver is long gone. He's abandoned that vehicle.
This is an amazing scene, though. This is just an incredible scene, and it's obviously jubilant celebration. And we said to ourselves, who are we going to send down there to make sure that they capture the essence of what's going on in the ground? And there was only one man for the job, Dan.
That's right. We've been waiting for this all night. Let's go to Shooter Shinetti.
Well, the Raptors have won an NBA championship, the first in franchise history. What you're seeing behind me, this is Dundas Square. Think of it like Times Square in New York City. And this is where Raptors fans have been the whole time as the team has gone to the finals. You feel this as it is right now. Initially, fans were saying, we can't believe we've won a championship. Now they believe. How long have you been a Raptors fan?
Man, since the day I was born in 1997, man. I didn't know anything until 2002, but since TJ Ford, Jose Calderon, and all those guys came into the team, I've been a fan.
It's been a long, hard road to get here, hasn't it?
It's been amazing, man, since every single Raptor said they didn't want to play for us, since the early 2000s to where we are today as a champion. We made it, man. We made it for the rest of our franchise.
How big was the devotion that Kyle Lowry showed this team, how hard he's worked? You're wearing his jersey number.
Man, he wears hard on his sleeve. He always gets out there. Let the league and let the playoffs and charges, you already knew. He puts him out there. He's dug out of them bun, man.
So are you already ready to hang his number on the rafters 100%. And number 2's number on the rafters?
Hall of Famer. You already know Kawhi's a Hall of Famer. Kyle Lowry's a Hall of Famer too for the respect they put on our city. He gave us that shit.
And if you could build a statue of this championship, what moment would it be?
It would be Kawhi Leonard, Game 7, Philadelphia. You already know. You already know. Got us into the finals against the Bucks, and it was game over after that. Last second like that, Kawhi Leonard, greatest rapper of all time. All respect out to the famous legends of the before. But yo, Kawhi Leonard, man, god damn, he's a legend. He's a legend.
No,
that
that
was very well said.
That guy there is a legend.
That guy spoke very well and succinctly, and he's right. Kawhi Leonard is the greatest athlete in the city of Toronto's history, greatest professional athlete in the city's history, and it might be one and done. He might be one and done, but it doesn't matter. Because it's almost more magical that way.
That's right. You run through all the scenarios. You're like, well, if he doesn't win a championship, maybe he'll stay and win one. If he wins one, then he'll say, well, mission accomplished. Now I'll go somewhere else and try and win. There's so many
There was
scenarios.
some talk that he made a comment after winning the championship tonight that they have something to build on. He said they have something to build on. Don't care. I just don't care. If he goes and signs with the Clippers because he wants to be closer to San Diego, it doesn't matter. The Raptors have this title. You can never take this title away from them. And it's just been a magical night. I mean, Matthew Shinetti's alive, and that's maybe the best part.
It's been a long time since a championship in the Big Four sports for Toronto, as you're going to see in the SC Express. Raptors win the NBA title for the first time in the team's 24-year history. Took them 2,026 games to do so.
I've been around this organization.
It's been a much longer drought for the other team that calls Scotiabank Arena home. 52 years to be exact. The Leafs last played for the Cup back in '67 when they beat the Habs in 6 for the franchise's 13th title. The early 90s in Toronto were highlighted by the Jays' back-to-back championships in '92 and '93. Touch them all, Joe. It's been a lot of disappointment ever since. Just 2 playoff berths for the Jays, falling 1 round short of the World Series on both occasions. Hasn't been all bad news for fans in the Big Smoke. The Argos and Toronto FC have had their fair share of recent successes. Both teams bringing home championships back in 2017. Rod and the guys with Kyle Lowry.
Basketball season is over.
Here you go.
Raptors.
I wanted to bring the party to you. Right? You know?
That's big time right there. That's big time. That's big time right there.
Hey, Kyle, you get the Larry O'Brien trophy. This look, Jack.
Hey, listen, that's a win-win.
This is a big trophy for me right here.
But here he
You may
is.
want to put it down just for now.
Yeah.
All right, I'll work for a second.
All right. Here he is, Kyle Lowry. Golf season can begin, my friend.
I know. It can, finally. But it's been a long year.
Hold on, Chris Bosh. What are you doing, Chris Bosh?
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Hey, good to see you again. Golf season can begin, but there you go, Jack.
Thank you, buddy. All right.
This how you know a champion right here. That's a champion right there. He's giving out beer.
He's used to that stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing about this is the golf season can begin because we work extremely hard to get here, and we're champions. So it's a good feeling.
You're the kid from North Philly, but you've also grown up the last few years north of the border.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've adopted this country. This country's adopted you.
Yeah.
Teams win for cities in the United States.
We won for
You've won for a country. Have you seen some of the pictures back
Not
home?
yet.
It's
Not
insanity.
Yet. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. I hope you guys are partying, but partying safe, but party hard, but party safe.
Stay classy, Toronto. Here we go. Cheers. Cheers, Kyle Lowry.
Thank you.
Right,
you guys open it up. Cheers.
I don't know
Jack,
what these guys are doing.
You can have mine. You can have mine too, Jack.
Hey, Clay said it. You know, don't bet against them being back, though, you know, if Kevin Durant returns to the Warriors, you know he's not going to play next season. Klay Thompson, the news came out that he has a torn ACL that he suffered in Game 6, so that's adversity they've got to overcome. But despite that, they're a terrific team.
Steph must at times felt like he was out there by himself. Looking at the reaction shots from Toronto, you know what's amazing? The rain stopped.
Yeah.
It was pouring it was torrential downpours.
The entire day.
They thought they were going to have to move Jurassic Park into the arena. That didn't happen, and then the rain stopped, and the celebrations can continue in a dry mode.
And then across the country, and you guys have seen it, the watch parties, Gino Retta's hometown of Mississauga, massive. Halifax, gigantic. Montreal, massive. And then Regina. Regina. The Rough Riders opened their season with a loss on Thursday night, and thousands of people fill Mosaic Stadium. I mean, this sport has started to permeate every part of this country, much the same way baseball permeated the whole country when the Jays went on their 92-93 World Series run.
Full edition of SportsCenter with Jay and Dan coming up at the bottom of the clock.
Toronto Raptors are the 2019 NBA champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Raptors are born. NBA basketball here in Canada, it's here to stay for a long time.
This is big, huge, you know, not just for Canada, but for the U.S. and the NBA most of all.
5 guys going to be racing to make the first basket because that's the history bookmaker.
Alvin Robertson for 3. There is the first ever basket score.
The Raptors are perfect, 1-0.
Steve Kerr! No! The Toronto Raptors have done it! They have beaten Michael! They have beaten the Bulls!
Tell me how excited you are about playing in Toronto.
I'm excited. Once I step out on that court in my first game, I'm going to be ready.
Oh! That's Air Canada there, folks.
It's going to be wild.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen! That's what they came to see! Carter at the buzzer! No good! And the Sixers hold on and advance to the conference finals!
Is the end in sight for Toronto's love affair with Vince Carter?
Carter wore out his welcome with Toronto fans due to his public trade demand.
Let it be known. Let's move on. And then now it's over. I think everybody can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm home. I love Toronto. I love this place. We feel like we're moving in the right direction.
Swatted away in Brooklyn. Takes game 7.
Remember this feeling. Not a good feeling to be going home in the first round.
Last 3 years been rough for us. Maybe they just got our number.
The deal is final. The Spurs will send Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors for DeMar DeRozan.
At the end of the day, I gave everything I had to that team.
My focus is on this year, this group that I have, and striving to get to a championship.
So I just wanted to put it up in the air and got the shooter's bounce.
Kawhi up top. Looks at the clock. Turns the corner for the win. For the second time in franchise history, the Toronto Raptors are headed to the Eastern Conference Final.
It was great. That's something I never experienced before. Getting 7 game-winning shot.
The Eastern Conference Finals have arrived on the mean streets of Milwaukee.
The Bucks taking a 2-0 lead in this best of 7.
2 games are enough for me to say this is a wrap.
It definitely is a wrap. This series is over. They can't beat these boys.
The Raptors are gonna win tonight.
Drake enjoying himself, yes.
Oh, I'm loving it.
I love Toronto. I love this team, and we're going to the NBA Finals. Let's go!
Lowry to Leonard, and the building can feel it. 24 seasons in the making. The Toronto Raptors are headed to their first NBA Finals.
Everybody here wants to get to the finals and win it.
I'm not satisfied. Our goal is to win the NBA championship.
I don't know how you can see them pulling off a victory over the Golden State Warriors.
The first time a finals game to be played outside of the United States.
A massive night. Pascal Siakam in his first ever NBA Finals game.
Leonard gets away from Bell. Oh, and throws it down with a foul.
The Raptors got the game that they had to get.
We know how big of a stage and how big of an accomplishment it is. It's just us getting here, but we know the job's not done.
They're 1 win away from their first ever NBA title. Fred VanVleet releasing all the energy.
We, the North, are now we, the champions. The Raptors, the 2019 NBA champs.
It's been a long time coming.
Just to be able to win this championship this year is just something special.